Hey there, welcome to week 3 of our February blog class. We're going to work on compartment number 3 in our little box here. So we're going to make this cute little tag and then this 4x6 mini album. That's so cute like that. Alright, before we get started, I want to talk to you about next month's blog class. I'm not going to give you a specific list of supplies to purchase because if you haven't heard about our miscellaneous me system, our life journaling, you're going to learn all about it next month. It is so much fun. It's so easy. You can see here is a couple of this is a C'est La Vie style, and there's a Family Is style. So your job is to just pick the miscellaneous me album and contents that you want, and then each week we'll show you a different way to use it, and then you can get started. You can even watch the classes before you decide what you want to buy. So there's not a specific supply list next month, so don't be alarmed when you see the list. So let's get started and finish our little compartment 3. Alright, we are going to start with this cute tag. And she's made this from the back part of your button package. So, this is what we're going to start with. Now, she left this BoBunny on here because this sits on our shelf. So, of course, we want it to say BoBunny. Yours, however, is going to sit at your house, and BoBunny cuddling by the fire might not make sense. So, we're going to make ours, and we're going to cover up the BoBunny. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need are 2 pieces of Snow Day Flurries, the back side. And your first one is going to be 3 by 4. And your second one is going to be 3 by 5.5. So 3 by 5.5, we're going to go to the back side just to cover up all that information. We're going to start at the top and adhere it so our little edge is going to still be out. And then just trim those out and punch this out. On the front side, we're going to start with the Cuddling by the Fire sticker from your combo sticker, and we're going to place it across our tag right on top of BoBunny. Then our 3 by 4 piece, we're going to adhere right underneath of that. Alright, so our 3 by 4 goes under our Cuddling by the Fire, and then from your layered chipboard sticker, you're going to get this cute baby. It's cold outside. And it's going to go on just right above our scalloped edge. It's right there above that. Mine's a little bent. Alright, and then from our 12 by 12 chipboard, you need the cute little birdhouse, the Let It Snow circle, and one of the brackets. Now remember, if you're inking, don't forget to ink all of your edges before putting this together. And I'm not, for time's sake, not inking. Let me just show you. Inking, and I'm not inking. So the inking kind of makes it stand out a little more. So we've got our cute little birdhouse. And then in the entrance to our birdhouse, because the birds have flown south for the winter, so we're locking up the house and saying, let it snow. And then our little bracket is just going to go right under the birdhouse. And then we get to do the fun crystal lacquer on top of the Let It Snow. And then again, Pia has these big silver eyelets, which I don't have, but I love the look of that. So I'm going to add some crystal lacquer and then tie strings through your tag, and that you're set. Okay, now we're going to make this cute album. I don't know why, but I just love this. I love how it's made. It's just fun. So we're going to start with 2 pieces of chipboard, and those need to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So 2 of those. And then we want 4 pieces of paper that are the same. So 2 of our Snow Day Flurries, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and 2 of the yellow that you chose, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And we're going to cover those. So 2 sides get Flurries, 2 sides get yellow. Okay, so we have our chipboard covered. There's the Flurries in the yellow. So the Flurries are going to be the outside cover of our album. and the yellow is going to be the inside. So the next step in our album, you need to cut 4 pieces of 4x4 ocean. So 4 pieces of 4x4 ocean. Set 3 of them aside, and we're going to start with this one. So this right here for our cover, we need to score at 1 1/8 and 2 7/8. Or 1 1/8 from each side. So 1 1/8 and then 2 7/8. So I've scored it 1 1/8 from each side. Now you're going to put your 2 chipboard pieces with the Flurries down. That's going to be our cover. We're going to put adhesive on the piece that we just scored on these 2 tabs that are on the outside. They're going to attach here and here, which is going to make the base of our album. So, and it doesn't matter dot sides up or down. And this is where you're holding your album together, so I would use a good adhesive, kind of a lot of adhesive, because you want it to stay there forever. Okay, so how I'm going to do it is I'm going to fold where my adhesive is, center that, and lay it right there on that edge. Not quite even. Whoops. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I fold that on the yellow, center it, and stick it on. So now, I have a little adhesive that came over the edge there. That's what that sticking was. Just get that off of there. So now I have just kind of the skeleton of my book. Okay, I want to cover this piece right here to match. So you're going to cut a piece of that that's 1 1/4, which is what the center is here, by 4. And we'll cover that up. And you could do it either way. You could do it so it totally matches, or the other way, kind of your own personal preference. I'm going to have mine match. There we go. So now I have the skeleton of my album all ready to go. How easy was that? Did you know you could make your own album? Well, you can. Okay, so if we take this one step at a time, eat the elephant one step at a time, it's going to be easy. All right, get your second piece of 4x4 ocean. We're going to score that. This one is going to be scored at 1 3/8 and 2 5/8, or 1 3/8 from each side. So 1 3/8 and 2 7/8. No, sorry, 2 5/8. 2 5/8. Don't do 7/8. That was the last one. Okay, so that's our number 2. If you have a pen handy, maybe write number 2 on it. I think I'm going to do that so I don't mess up. So this is going to be my number 2, and that's going to be covered up. And get your third piece, and it's going to be at 1 5/8 and 2 3/8, or 1 5/8 from each edge. Can you see a pattern going on here? And 2 3/8. That's number 3. And our last one is going to be at 1 7/8 and 2 1/8. So it's just a little 1/4 of an inch. Dang it. I did it at 1 3/4, 1 7/8, and 2 1/8. And I'm okay with that because this first fold is going to be under paper, so it's not going to weaken what I need it for at all. So you just do it right, 1 7/8 and 2 1/8. All right, now let's assemble our pages. So get out your book, and I'm going to get number 2. And it's going to go right on top. The only place I'm going to use adhesive is this center piece. So the opposite of what we did before. I'm going to bend it so that it's more visible. So now my adhesive is just going to go in the center piece. So if I lay that right on top, that'll be perfect. Now we're going to do that with number 3. Fold it in. And adhesive is going to go just in the center. And I'm going to lay it right on top. Isn't it amazing when you take things one step at a time, how you're like, oh, that wasn't so hard. So this one just has that 1/4 inch center. So you're just going to put adhesive on that 1/4 inch. Good thing my adhesive is exactly 1/4 inch. And then again, lay it right on top. All right. Check this out. I don't know why every time I'm like amazed with myself. I didn't even do it. So you've got that. Now we're going to adhere our pages to here. So there is more of your skeleton of your album. Okay. We're going to start, I'm going to say this is my cover. So we're going to start right here with page 1. You want a 4x6 piece of Snow Day Mittens and a 4x6 piece of Snow Day Drifts, the back side. There's my mittens, there's my drift back side. I'm going to start with my mittens. Let me think how best to show you this. And I'm going to put this edge, remember this is my page 1, right down there along where it bends. And I'm just going to close that because adhesive is here, so you don't want to lay it this way. It will get stuck to your other parts. And see, just kind of make sure that it's kind of even there so that your pages are going to be centered in your book when you get it done. You don't want it to squamp off to the side. And now, so I attached it to that ocean piece, which is now here. I'm going to go to that same fold and attach this one. Actually, I'm going to start at the bottom so that these two match, which is what I suggest you do as well. Okay, rather than make you watch me put on each page, I'm going to tell you what goes on each page, and I'm just going to make a little note on my tab so that I know, and I don't have to keep checking. So, page 2, the front is going to be sunflower. The back is going to be the same as right here, Snow Day Drifts, back side. Okay, page 3 is going to be avocado, 4x6 piece of avocado, and again, Snow Day Drifts backside. Page 4, I'm going to do sunflower, and the backside is going to be my Drifts backside. Page 5, I'm going to do avocado again. And the back side will be my Drifts. And my last page, I'm going to do sunflower. And then my back side, so that it matches my first page, is going to be Snow Day Mittens. Okay, so I'll list those for you below the video, but I'll go ahead and let you do that. Okay, so I'm all set. And if you look at it like this, it goes mittens, yellow, avocado, yellow, avocado, yellow. So it's just every other. My back is mittens, and then all the backs are the same. Okay, I used a Xyron to put all my pages together, and if you've used a Xyron, you know that sometimes you get that little bit of a gummy edge, so you can see my pages are kind of sticking together. If you put a tiny bit of undo on a paper towel, a tiny bit of undo, and then just kind of run it down each edge, you can get rid of that gummy. But if you use too much undo, your whole page is going to come undone, and it's going to make a hot, sticky mess. So just a tiny bit of undo, just kind of rub it up and down each page, and you can get that little bit of gummy off. Okay, now basically your album is done other than embellishing it. And let me show you, well, and our cover, which we'll do in a minute, but let me show you inside here. Okay, so Pia put a 4x6 photo on the front side of every page. She trimmed it a little so she had an edge, and she rounded the corners. Then she's embellished so it kind of coordinates with her photos. So I'm not going to have you put the embellishments in the same places because you don't want to cover up somebody's face. So I'm just going to kind of go through and show you what she's done. So she has her little snowflake, pure as snow. Now, the fun thing about the back side is that with this paper, it kind of lends itself to journaling. So you could journal about either the picture that's on the front or the picture that's on the page below it. I would suggest the front, then every page has one. Anyway, either way. So the second one, she's used a little chipboard and added glitter and bling, and everyone's a kid in the snow. Then we've got fresh powder and cool with the snowflakes, and she's added glitter and bling. Snowflakes. She's added a crystal lacquer and glitter. So she's kind of went top, bottom, which also is handy when you close an album. If you do all of your embellishments in the bottom left corner, your album's gonna, sit like this. I don't know if you can see that that's odd, but if you vary your embellishments around places on each page, your album will sit flatter, and that's with any album you do. So we were on snowflakes, and then up here, so now she's got it over on the right, we've got some snowflakes with some bling. Isn't that cute? That little sticker's coming out from under the bling, says winter. Cold hands, warm heart. And then a cute little flourish, and some more crystal lacquer on that last page. All right, now we're going to work on our cover. The first thing we're going to work on is making this medallion. So you are going to need 2 strips of sunflower paper that are 1 1/4 by 12. And then, just like with last week, these, the crevices in here are 1/4 inch. So on one side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, every 1/2 inch, 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2. Then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to go to the opposite. We're going to go to 1/4, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, and score. Do that to both pieces, and then to make the fun edge, we've used decorative scissors. And to make this fun edge on your medallion, we use decorative scissors and just cut down one side of each. And then we're going to accordion them. You guys should be pros at making these. I call them a medallion. I don't know what everybody calls them. It'd be interesting to know. Same thing with the little, these. Is this a flag? Is this a pennant? What is this? Well, I know it's a tag. But what, when you do a piece of paper with this little arch on it, what is it? What's it called? I never know. I always call it something different. A flag, a pennant, a banner. Again, I'm not going to make you watch me do all this, so I'll do it and come back. Okay, so we've got our 2 pieces and we've scrunched them together. And then you are going to make sure that you have both the decorative edges the same way. and adhere your two pieces together. And then we want to adhere the other ends together. Oh, I don't know why I'm being so difficult right there. Okay, and then I'm going to get my cover, make sure you're at the front, glob some adhesive on there. And then again, the easiest way to make these is to get all of your, scrunch them all together. And then I want my decorative edge out. So pull everything into the center. And then where my adhesive is, I'm just going to start pulling in until I get it the shape I want. And as it goes out and in, that kind of gets the adhesive up in the different pieces, and I think that's what helps adhere it better. So I sometimes do that on purpose, let it kind of scrunch out and in so it gets a good seal. While I'm holding that, now you want a piece of sunflower that is 1.5 by 6 inches, and you're going to score it the exact same way every 1/4 inch. So on one side do it at 1/2, 1.5. On the other side do it at 1/4, 3/4, 1 1/4. Okay, and then scrunch that guy together. And he is going to go across our top. Up here, I'm going to stretch him just so that when he stretches out, he fits all the way across. So while this glue is drying, I'm actually going to start putting my glue for that piece. I like to add my adhesive when I'm making these medallions a little bit in advance, because as the glue dries, it adheres better. Things start sticking and it makes sense. So, and I'm just kind of eyeballing where it's going to be. If you like to do a lot of eyeballing, this tacky glue is good because it dries clear. This is already clear, so I assume it's going to dry clear as well. That was a dorky thing I just said right there to y'all. Okay, so here's another little tip. My little edges, the edges that fold down, that's what I'm going to put down, so I don't just have these two loose edges poking up. And I'm just going to start at this side and over top where I've put the adhesive, get that side. And then hopefully where the peaks and valleys are, it will stick on to the adhesive that we've globbed down there. And while the glue's wet, you can fan out your peaks and valleys and make it pleasing. I need it to come that way a little bit more. Sensing a pattern here, put a little bit of extra adhesive on the ends. They tend to be my ones that are pulling away. Okay, to finish off our cover, from our layered chipboard, you're going to need our cute little cup of cocoa, the tags that say snow, the bracket from the 12 by 12 chipboard, and a 1.5 inch scalloped, and I just used a punch, and this is from Snow Day Sledding. Okay, and a little tip, because we're going to tie ribbons through our tags and string, is I don't know if you can see this acrylic backer, but I just cut off enough so that I could use the holes. This is still, so I don't have to work with the sticky tags. Hopefully that makes sense. So the first thing we're going to do is take some twine, and we're just going to thread it in and out of these kind of really loosely. Some of them you could go around more than once, but we're just going to kind of like little wisps of snow. So leave it loose, don't do it too tight. This one I'm going to go down in first. And maybe one more time. And then I'm going to leave the ends kind of long. Actually, I'm just going to leave them like that while I tie yellow ribbon through each hole. But when you tie this, tie it around the string so that it holds the string in place. And actually, I'll wait and do that after. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take that scallop punch. I adhered it to there. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Don't judge me. That wasn't a good idea. Don't do that. So I'm going to give my scallop a little more adhesive. He's going to go on my medallion. And then my hot cocoa is going to go on top of that. And then my bracket. And I did that bad thing, so I have to put more adhesive on mine. And it's going to go right underneath the medallion. And then my cute snow tags are just going to go evenly across here. And then I'll tie my yellow through. And voila! You are done. So that's it for today. We did our cute tag using our packaging and this cute album. And we are done with compartment 3, and I will see you guys back next week to do number 4 and finish off our project. Thanks!